Hi guys, welcome to In the Kitchen with Adnan and Alia. So we're back again, and this time we're going to be making chicken pie with a slight Asian twist. So let's get going. Let's have a look at the ingredients. Right, ingredients time. So let's get started. We've got Shortcrust Pastry that we've just bought from the supermarket. This is 500 grams. This is 2 tablespoons of chili flakes and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. For this purpose, you don't really need to add the chili flakes, but we do because we like to have some spice in it. But if you want more spices, add more. If you want less, add less. 1 small onion, just cut into small pieces. 1/4 cup of oil. 5 garlic cloves. Just crushed. 500 grams of mushrooms cut into small pieces. 3 small leeks. 1 kilo of chicken thighs. We're using thighs this time because we just find it has more flavor than breast. Breast tends to be a bit dry. 600 mils of milk and 600 mils of chicken stock. That's for the roux that we're going to be making. 100 grams of butter, and finally 100 grams of plain flour. Right. So she's just added the oil to the pan. We're going to wait for that to warm up, and then we're going to add the chicken into it. I think that's warm now, Alia.
Yes.
Should we get the chicken added?
Yes.
Here you go.
अब ये मैं इसमें चिकन ऐड कर रही हूँ.
Just be careful, don't splash yourself. So now we're gonna cook the chicken until it goes white, and when all the chicken's turned white, then we're gonna add the leeks, and after that we're gonna add the mushrooms. Right, so our chicken, as you can see, has released a bit of water. So before we put leeks and mushrooms in, we're just going to let it cook so the water level reduces. And I'm just going to add a pinch or so of Italian herbs. I've not included this in the ingredients because I'm adding a small amount, and this is optional. If you want to add it, by all means do so. If you don't want to, leave it out. So now we're just going to let the chicken cook a little longer until the water evaporates, and then we're going to add the leeks and the mushrooms.
अब ये इसमें हरा प्याज डाल रही हूँ मैं.
So what Alia's just said is now we're adding the leeks, and we're just going to let the leeks cook a little bit, and then we're going to add the mushrooms.
अब ये लीक इसमें अच्छी तरह से कुक होना पहले, तो फिर हम इसमें मशरूम ऐड करेंगे ताकि इसमें पानी है.
And so now most of the liquid's gone as well. There is still a little bit there.
अब इसमें ये मैं मिर्च और नमक ऐड कर रही हूँ.
So we've just added the salt and the chili flakes. Now what you will find is most of the recipes that you get for chicken leek pie won't include the chili flakes, but we like to add that just because that suits our palate.
अभी हम इसमें मशरूम ऐड कर रहे हैं.
Right, so now in go the mushrooms, and we're going to cook those down a bit so they're not raw.
हम इसको 2 or 3 minutes के लिए कुक करेंगे.
So like Alia just said, we're going to cook them for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then they're going to come out and we're going to go on with the next step.
अब ये चिकन, लीक्स एंड मशरूम ये कुक हो गया. अब इसको हम एक सेपरेट पैन में निकाल लेंगे.
Right, so now the chicken, the leeks and the mushrooms are all cooked. So now we're just going to take them out and we're going to put them into another pan, and after that we're going to move on with the next stage. Right, now into the same pan we're going to add the onion and the garlic and just saute them a little bit until the onions are translucent. We're not going to brown them at all. We're just, like I said, just going to saute them a bit, and then they're going to be added to the chicken, leek and mushroom mixture. And this is all one pot cooking.
Yeah.
So if someone...
अब ये ऑनियन कुक हो गया, जैसे हमने बताया था कि हमने इसको थोड़ा सा कुक करना है. अब इसको हम सेम प्लेट में निकाल लेंगे.
So the onions and the garlic are cooked. We've just taken that rawness out of them. We've not completely cooked them like you would for a curry or something like that. We've just sauteed them. That rawness is gone, and now we're going to take them out and we're going to go on to the next stage. Add the 100 grams of butter into the pan. Let the butter melt. Add in the same quantity of plain flour. Mix it all in, and then we're going to add the stock.
जितना हमने बटर यूज किया है उतना ही हम मैदा यूज करेंगे.
So we just have to wait for the butter to melt. You just want the butter to melt. You don't want to have the heat on too high because the butter will start to burn. That's not what we want. So the quantities you can change. If you want to make a smaller portion, then use less, but you have to have the same amount of butter and flour. And now we're just going to cook it a little bit until that rawness from the flour is gone, because what you don't want is you don't want to eat the pie and taste raw flour.
अब हम इसको थोड़ा सा कुक करेंगे.
And once
अगर आप थोड़ा चिकन पाई बना रहे हैं तो फिर आप बटर और मैदा कम यूज़ करेंगे, क्योंकि हम थोड़ा ज़्यादा बना रहे हैं.
So once it's cooked for a few seconds, then we're going to start adding the stock and the milk slowly, whilst whisking at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to combine the stock and the milk that I showed you earlier and just mix it in together. And that mixture is what we're going to add, that stock and milk mixture. That's what we're going to start to add slowly. If you want, you could add a little bit of nutmeg at this stage, but we're not gonna do that. So now that rawness has gone, we can't smell the raw flour anymore.
Yeah,
now I'm gonna start to add the chicken. So this is the milk and the chicken stock mixture, and I'm just gonna add a little bit at a time. And when that's combined, then we're gonna move on and
इसमें आहिस्ता आहिस्ता करके थोड़ा डालते जाएंगे. इसमें कोई भी लम्स ना लें, इसमें आप इसमें डालें।
Yeah, so Alia is using the whisk here because what she doesn't want is she doesn't want any lumps in there. You want a nice smooth roux.
ये देखिए अब ये स्मूथ हो गए। थोड़ा थोड़ा करके शामिल करेंगे ताकि इसमें कोई भी लम्स ना रहे।
Yeah, so no lumps. Nice smooth roux. And once it's all combined, once the roux is made, then we're gonna add a bit of seasoning to it. There should already be some seasoning from the stock.
मिक्स हो गया, इसमें सारा डाल दें।
So in goes the rest. So how do we tell when it's thick enough? So we're just gonna, if we just do that, as you can see, it's the roux so thick that it's not combining again. That means the roux is ready, and now we can begin assembly.
इसको हम कर रखेंगे थोड़ी देर के लिए ठंडी हो जाए।
Yep, so now we're just going to let it cool a bit like Alia said, and then we're going to start assembling. Right, so we're just going to start the oven preheating at 200 degrees centigrade. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, but I'm sure you can Google that, and I'll stick in the video description what that is in Fahrenheit myself. So this oven's not fan assisted, and we're going 200 degrees. If your oven's fan assisted, then just adjust it accordingly. And so yeah, we're just gonna let the oven preheat whilst the roux cools. Right, so now we're just rolling out the pastry. Now guys, we're not gonna make one big pie. We're gonna make small individual size pies in dishes this size. What you can do is you can use this recipe to make one large pie by all means, but we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna make small individual sized pies. What you can also do is you can get the foil, the small foil pie trays from the supermarket, and you can get those, put the filling in, top them with the shortcrust pastry and freeze them, and then when you want to, just put them in the oven. So say you want to make, say you've got kids who are coming home from school and they want a snack, take a frozen pie out of the oven, out of the freezer, put it into the oven, and there you go, you've got a snack for the kids. So all I'm doing here is these ramekins are what I'm making the pies in. So I've got a ramekin upside down on the pastry, and I'm just cutting around it so that I have the pastry cut to the exact length that I need it, so I'm not wasting too much. Right, now for the assembly, like I said, we're making small individual pies, so we're just going to put some of the filling into the ramekins, add some roux on top, 2 to 3 tablespoons or whatever, you know, just judge for yourself based on the dish that you're using. And after that, we're going to use a little egg wash. So now we're ready to top the pies. So we're just going to add a bit of egg to the edges to help it all stick, to help the pastry, I should say, stick.
हम इसके साइड में पेस्ट्री लगा देंगे ऊपर.
And now pastry goes on top, and we just crimp. Take your time, relax, enjoy cooking. So now that all our pies are assembled, we're just going to egg wash them all and then stick them in the oven, and it's going to be at least about 35 minutes, but just keep an eye on them. Once the pastry is golden brown, they're done. So like I was saying earlier, you can make these and you can freeze them if you don't want them all at the same time, or you can make one big pie, whatever you fancy. Okay guys, so now we're just waiting for those to bake, and whilst they're baking, I just wanted to say, if you enjoyed the video, please like and share, and if you're new to the channel, kindly subscribe and comment down below. Tell us what you want to see next time, so we'll come back once the pies are baked. And here you have it guys, pies are ready, looking beautiful. As you can see, egg wash in them has given them a lovely golden color. They smell beautiful, and I am ready to tuck in. So try it, give it a go yourself, and yours will turn out just as good as ours if you just follow all the steps. Because we've made these individual size, you can have light salad on the side, some chips if you want, something like that. But do try it, very easy recipe. We just use the one pot, and you can make one big pie if it's a family. If you want to make small individual pies, then do that. If you want to freeze them, you can also do that. Give the recipe a go, share, like, subscribe, and see you next week. Thank you for watching.